G'day guys, today I'll be showing you how to make this DIY laser turret using an Arduino and potentiometers to control it. Alright, let's get into it. To build this you'll need an Arduino. This is a Chinese branded one but it works just fine. You also need a couple of male-to-male jumper wires. You need two 10k ohm resistors, doesn't really matter how many resistance they have. You need a breadboard, a laser with male pins at the bottom, two servos also with male pins at the bottom, something heavy to mount it on, and a hot glue gun. Alright, let's get into building it. Alright, let's start by connecting some stuff up to our breadboard. To start with, we want to power our build, so we'll go from ground out to the negative rail, and then we'll go 5 volts out to the positive rail. Next, we want to wire up our potentiometers. So you're going to need 2 for these, for pan and tilt. So I recommend putting them on either side of the breadboard. Potentiometers have 3 pins, these 3. The 2 out ones are the positive and negative, it doesn't matter which way. And then the middle one is the signal wire. So let's wire that up. So I'll just pick some of the positive ones. Then do the negative ones. The middle wire will then go from the middle pin to analog 0, and the other one will do the same but go to analog 1. So now our potentiometers are all wired up. Grab your hot glue gun and just make a big squirt on the bottom of on the top of the tin. Then chuck the bottom of one of the servos on there and hold it so that it remains there. Once that's dried, grab your other servo. Put some glue on the side of that and then put it on here. Next, grab your laser diode, chuck some glue on the side of that and stick it on to the tilt servo. At the moment it doesn't matter where they are because these are not glued down. You can just pull them off. So later on we can calibrate it by manually putting these in new locations. Now let's connect this up to our breadboard. For the laser, put the negative wire into the negative, but then put the positive into somewhere in the breadboard. This will be useful because you can power it using the Arduino later. Let's plug our laser into pin 1. Let's now wire up our servos. There are 3 wires on a servo, the brown, red and orange. The red one is positive, the brown is negative and the orange is the signal. So we'll put these 2 into power and then the signal into pin 5. Pin 5 is the tilt servo. We'll then do the same with the other one and put it in pin 6. This will be the pan servo. Okay, that's all our wiring done, let's get into the code. I'll put the code in the description so you can copy it right into your Arduino. Alright, so welcome to the code. The first line just means that we're going to use servos, so it tells the Arduino to get ready and include that type of code. The next 2 things says that there are 2 servos using this thing. I then create 2 values called val pan and val tilt. Guess what they're for? They're for the value of how much the servo should pan or tilt. Then made a laser so you can turn the laser on and off using the software. I then told it where the 2 potentiometers are going to be plugged in, so they're in analog 0 and analog 1. I then got into the setup area. First thing I did was I told the thing that the laser is an output, and then told it where the 2 servos were plugged in, they're 6 and 5. Now into the loop. The first thing that I do is tell the laser to turn on. I then set value pan. So the value pan is equal to analog read 1. I then use the map tool, which then creates value pan is equal to the potentiometer's maximums and minimums, and also the servo's maximums and minimums. I then tell the servo to turn to this value, this val pan, and then delay it by 15 seconds so the servo has time to get to that place. I then do all of that again for the tilt servo, so it's all just copy and paste except you've changed all the pans into tilts. Alright, let's upload this to the Arduino and see how it goes. Alright, so let's push upload and see how we go. Alright, just ignore that it's pointing in weird places, check that everything works. There you go, pan works. Does my tilt work? Great. Alright, let's get this aligned so they're not such a weird angles and everything. So we can see that it works, just it's very out of alignment. So what I do is max everything out on the potentiometers. Let's take off the top servo. And you can now see that this is on here. So this servo is moving, max it out, and then just say that this is, so max it out and then say that that's the servo looking far right. So therefore you just chuck it straight back on there. So now far right, the other way is far left. Alright, that's looking good. Let's do the same for the tilt servo, put it all the way down. That's not too bad actually, you see that? And then all the way up, all the way back there, so it's a bit rough. I think we'll make all the way down a bit more. So now we can see that all the way down is there, all the way up is there, all the way left, all the way right. Alright, we're all good. If you don't like which potentiometer is controlling each direction, you can change that very easily just by swapping out the analog pins. You can now see that they've changed themselves, and if you prefer it that way, that's an easy fix. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.